Good morning, Royalwood. Friday, September 6th, 11 o'clock in the morning. Video number 11 being presented by me. So here we are, fitness center. All of the footings got poured this week. We have some video that'll be showing up toward the end of today's video with the concrete pumpers that came in and did that. So next stage, as you can see, Badger Plumbing is the subcontractor. So all of the underground utilities, the plumbing lines, the electrical lines, and all that type of stuff are all being prepped here on the site. And then once that's all done, what they'll do is they'll come on in and we'll have another concrete pumper come on in, and obviously they'll lay the foundation for the structure. And then obviously once that's all done, then things really start moving. We anticipate right now on the schedule, we've been working very hard with Kern and Young on the schedule, we anticipate this facility being CO'd sometime in February. And we love that fact because, like I said, the pro shop can get into this facility, the Kern and Young team can go into the pro shop, and then we really would have some really solid administrative offices for the remainder of the season. And then obviously we can get rid of the construction trailer, and of course that saves money. So I'm going to take you out to the back and give you a quick view of what's happening there. Welcome back. So this week the sewer line was attached from the parking lot, which you saw last week, where they were trenching out the parking lot and coming basically toward the trailer. Then they made a turn and basically came down all the way through this fence line. That sewer line, which we're being required to put in, and water drainage lines as well, is going to run all the way down between the tennis courts and all the way out to the manhole, which I described in the video. So that particular Tuesday, they did start. They did clear it all out. The county has a requirement for an inspection of the manhole. When the county came out and inspected the manhole, they said we cannot connect to it. And the reason is that the manhole, I don't know if you can see that big black tank that's all the way down there. That is a manhole storage tank. The manhole storage tank that was out there has basically completely rotted away. And we now know why, and it's because the sewage system has had an extended amount of hydrogen sulfide, and it basically eroded the concrete. So they would not let us do the work. We had to cover it all up, and we worked with the county. Originally, believe it or not, the county said that Royalwood is going to be responsible for it. And we told the county, that's not right, it's yours. We have not touched it. We've just gotten access to it so you can inspect it. Fortunately, Royalwood is very good friends with John Ikes, who is the Senior Wastewater Director, Utility Director for Collier County. That's who the board in my office has been working with on the wastewater treatment plant. I called in John came and inspected it, and John said that you're correct. This is the county's responsibility, and we're going to jump on it right away because we know that you're in the midst of this project and you need to connect with all of your underground utilities. As a matter of fact, the county is here today with the contractor that's going to do the work. So that's great news. That was great, just great cooperation between county. And it just goes to show that having a great relationship with somebody in the county who cares about Royalwood, because we partnered with them on their project, really paid dividends. So we were very pleased with that. As you can see in the background, the pool work continues to proceed. They are ready to go ahead and put in all the pavers. The pool will be drained, the jacuzzi will be drained, probably within the next week, and then the remarciting of the pool and the jacuzzi will occur. So that we'll be wrapping that up within the next probably 6 weeks. So from that aspect, we'll be right back. Welcome back. In my background is where the 30 additional parking spots are going to go. It's going to be grass parking. We are going to put pavement so that when you pull in, you'll be on pavement, but you will park in a grass parking spot on that. We look to have that basically ready sometime in early 2020, so we can use that right off the bat. As you can see, this was all the drainage lines that had to be put in, and that obviously will be heading into that. This work was all done. You saw some videos of it last week in progress. So right now, there have been comments that people haven't been really seeing much construction, and it's true. If you're just driving by, you're not really seeing any construction take place, because everything right now is focused on getting all of the underground utilities, sewer, all of that in place. And once that's all in place, then obviously we can start building on top of it. But that's the process of construction. But we're moving ahead, and we're continuing looking ways how we can shorten the schedule for completion. We'll do one more review out at the front of the clubhouse, and then I'm going to invite John Alessandrello, our Vice President of the Board and our Chairman of the Construction Committee, to address some recent communications that have been sent out to the membership. We'll be right back. Welcome back. We're out in the front of the clubhouse, and what you can see that's happening here is the guys are basically lining out the corners of the building, so that and that's part of the process, is they get that basically all put in, and then obviously the same process as you saw over at the fitness center. They're now working on it over here. So on that aspect, what you can see over here on this orange spot, the patio comes all the way out to here. Patio comes all the way out to here. So it's going to go from basically from that board there all the way down. It's going to be a gorgeous patio, and you can see the sky above me. It's going to be a beautiful view. I can envision, and I hope you can envision, many years to come of sitting out here in February when, oh my God, 72 degrees, which, God, I feel like I haven't had 72 degrees in years, because the summer's been so hot. Average temperature down here has been 94, 95, 96, 97 degrees. I'm not going to complain with what happens in this world and what's happened in the Bahamas, but goodness gracious. So that's what's happening here. Irrigation lines are happening out there. That's the work that's being done now. So otherwise, it's a great weekend coming up. So in honor of all the football fans, I thought I would go ahead and make a prediction. This is between myself and my executive producer, that the Buffalo Bills will go 11-5. And what does my executive producer doesn't believe that? I'm assuming my executive producer believes the Patriots are going to go 11-5. Oh, I tell you, I'm telling you, we're getting one of those games, getting one of them. We'll be right back. Welcome back. I have the pleasure of being with our Vice President of the Board, John Alessandrello, and Mr. Alessandrello is also the chairman of the construction committee. He's down for 10 days visiting the project and working with Curran and Young and our owner's rep, as well as my office, in coordinating and getting up to speed on everything. Not that he's not been up to speed, but there's nothing like being on site and in person. As you may or may not know, the community, at least single-family homeowners, have received communication from what is called the Transparency Committee 2019 LLC, basically outlining the fact of the construction costs and the fact that the board has not been transparent about that whatsoever. So, Mr. Alessandrello, could you address how the board communicated that?
Well, as I recall, on June 3rd, our president, Ryan, made a video, and he went through all of the expenses and costs that were going to be associated with this project. And I think he did a good job. And also in that presentation, referred to our reserve budget being able to cover some of the other items that are part of this project.
That's correct. On June 3rd, as Mr. Alessandrello said, a special video was done by Ryan Smith from his home in Wisconsin that we put out as a dedicated YouTube video describing what we knew back on June 3rd. When I checked it just recently, that video had 510 hits. So what we're going to do today is you'll have the video link for today's presentation, and then we're also going to put a link to the June 3rd video that Mr. Smith prepared from his home in Wisconsin, outlining the cost projections for the project and how those were going to be funded. So you can expect that in the video. So could you explain to the membership how much value engineering, what aspects did we do for value engineering, what decisions did we make, and what decisions that we decided was not good overall for the project? And some people have said, why is the project growing so much in cost? So if you could address that, that'd be great.
Okay. Well, one of the first things that became apparent, we designed this new clubhouse, and you were going to enter from the current area where we normally would enter the building, and that hadn't been touched, so we were going to be walking from old to new. So it was a good idea to also refresh that area so that we had a good cohesive presentation for all of our members, one that it fits, it goes together. You weren't going to go, oh, and then oh.
Sure. So in addition to that, you all have to remember that the project, or I should say the vote of the membership, occurred 18 months before it actually got out to bid. And during those 18 months, Hurricane Irma,
then supply and demand for all the labor and materials, and that's still ongoing even to today, because in other projects that I'm working on, I'm seeing material costs go up about 5% a month.
Right,
depending
right.
on what it is.
These are some of the reasons why early on we made the decision to how can we save more money to try and get back in line. That's the reason the construction committee and the board endorsed the fact of shaving 10 feet off of the new wellness, fitness, pro shop building, okay? And it was basically a couple of feet in the three areas. We didn't just cut off one portion of the wall. That move, though we didn't want to make it, that move was $125,000 in savings. And those were some of the difficult decisions that the construction committee and the board accepted, because we were desperately working to try and basically abate the construction cost increases. So,
you know, in addition to that, you're saving here, but then remember the county came to us and said you had to replace the sewer.
That's correct. Yes, I mean, unbeknown to anybody, certainly me. I'm ground zero right here. As you know, we knew in June the county was basically saying we want you to put an 8-inch sewer line. Our civil engineers were working diligently to come up with other options. Unfortunately, the county there was one option, but the county says we would only grant that if you're out basically in the middle of Immokalee. But you have the capability to tap into the manholes, and that's what came down. As a matter of fact, they also had the DEP go ahead and enforce that. There was no override of the DEP because the DEP joined the opinion. That was a lot of expense. It was just a lot of expense that we did not anticipate whatsoever. We needed our civil engineers. So,
and the other thing, Kyle, we had a couple work stoppages that we had to delay the project, and which cost us money as well. And as you delay the project, all of these subcontractors that you have stacked up, they all crumble because you can't get any work done until you have an approval. And because of these work stoppage requests that we had, it delayed us even further.
well, it was evident because, as you recall, the site clearing company,
Yes.
the original one that had bid on the project, bailed
Right.
and moved on to another project. So that delayed all that work being done, probably 2 weeks before the contractor could find another subcontractor to come in. So it is true. It's an extremely competitive market. There's so much site clearing going on in this town right now. It really is. It really is. It really is amazing. You think we're built out, but oh my gosh, we're not. So we've been getting some questions from various members. I addressed one earlier. You're not seeing anything happen in the clubhouse. Well, there's stuff happening. It just happens to be on the ground with the site utilities and all of that occurring. You're not seeing the cranes or anything like that. The roof trusses have been ordered, and I think we were told around mid-October, about 6 weeks or so.
October 6th and October 17th.
October 6th, I think, is the Wellness Center,
Wellness
Fitness Center.
Center, yeah.
Trusses are coming in, and then on the 17th, the roof trusses are coming in for the clubhouse. So we're making progress and moving ahead.
A lot of underground stuff going on, so you don't see the visual impact, but soon you will start seeing physical walls going up, trusses going on, and it'll make a big difference.
Okay. All right. Super.
Somebody asked about why did we have to change the roof line of the clubhouse?
Okay.
We're not. I don't know where that came from, but we have not changed the roof.
Yeah. The question is, somebody questioned why we were changing the roof line. We're not changing the roof line. The demolition that you saw occur there is because of the indoor-outdoor patio that is being put in, and as you can see on the demolition from Wildcat, that it was really done surgically. So they did a really good job. Kern and Young is very pleased with the work that they've done, and the club is as well. So we did get some good news. And that is FP&L. Our transformer is so old that FP&L has agreed to replace the transformer at their cost. That's short of, that's like hitting a home run with FP&L, for them to actually say that they will pay for it. So the project and costs go like this. We get good news, bad news, good news, bad news. That's how the construction world is. So any other thoughts, John?
I think that's all the ones that I've encountered so far since I've been here.
Okay. All right. Super. So remember, there's going to be this link, obviously, and we're going to put the June 3rd link out there as well. With the upcoming football kickoff weekend, all of us sports fans have a great weekend.